Hey everyone, welcome to Apple Insider. I am excited today because we have the iPhone 12 lineup in our hands. That's right, we have 3 models of the new iPhone 12 lineup. In this video, we are going to walk you through these dummy units based on the iPhone 12 schematics that were leaked. There's some pretty incredible details here. We're going to walk through everything, why we're seeing 3 camera bumps on the backs, or 2 camera bumps. We're going to talk about what port we're seeing down here at the bottom, redesigns of the sides, the smaller bezels, everything you can expect here with the iPhone 12 lineup. So here we go. This is the reveal of everything you can expect to see on the new iPhone 12s. So this is it. This is the iPhone 12 lineup, at least for the most part, at least in sizes. So the farthest one here on the left, this is the iPhone 12. It measures in at 5.4 inches, and you can tell it has the 2 camera bumps on the rear. Then in the center, we have our iPhone 12 Pro, which is measuring in at 6.1 inches. Now, there are actually 2 6.1-inch models. There's an iPhone 12 Max, which is just still 2 camera bumps, just in this larger size. And then the iPhone 12 Pro comes in the 6.1 size, as well as the Pro Max. It sounds like the biggest differences are going to be that 3rd camera bump there on the back. It's also going to have the possibly better display, like OLEDs versus LEDs. And it also has the stainless steel body versus the aluminum body we have on the lower models. So there's going to be 2 6.1-inch models of the iPhone 12 line, the 12 Max and just the iPhone 12 Pro, sitting here in the center. Then, aside from the 12 Pro, we have the 12 Pro Max, which measures 6.7 inches. So how does that line up with what we had before? Well, let's go ahead and compare. So we have this here, which is our iPhone 12, and it's going to compare, obviously, to the iPhone 12 that we had in the past. So here is an iPhone 12. As you can see, there is quite the size difference between the 2 phones. The iPhone 12 that I have, or the iPhone 11 that I have in my right hand here, this actually is 6.1 inches. So this is 5.4, this is 6.1. So this is a new, super small size, and it's pretty great. So this is a great size to have around, and then obviously if you like the 6.1 size, you can go with the 12 Max, which will sit here in the center of that 6.1 inch size. And that's kind of largely what you can see, the difference between these 2 phones in that regard. So we put this down, we can go to this middle mode. So here you can see the size difference is very, very subtle. There's almost no difference here on the size, but the 12, it feels a little bit slimmer because it has those flat sides on there compared to the iPhone 11. Now, if we also want to compare, set this down for a second, we'll swap the 12 out for the iPhone 11 Pro. Here we go. So this is 5.8 inches for the iPhone 11 Pro. It's not all that different here. So for those who picked up the smaller iPhone 11 Pro, they are not going to be sad by this change in size here. It's really not that difference at all in terms of the actual size of the handset. So even though it's actually getting a bigger screen because of those slimmed down bezels, it is actually very similar in size. So the iPhone 11 Pro is going to the iPhone 12 Pro, going from 5.8 inches to 6.1 inches. So that's what you're getting for the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Max. Out of curiosity's sake, we actually wanted to compare that new iPhone 12 with the original iPhone SE. And it's kind of crazy. I know a ton of people love the form factor of that 4.7-inch iPhone SE. It's pretty cool. But it's even cooler when you have the new iPhone 12 that is really not that much different in size. If we compare these, line them up a little bit, you can see we have a tiny bit of overhang on each side, but really the size is not all that different from this device to the other. And imagine how much extra screen space you're getting going from this really cramped display to this one. So a new 5.4-inch model compared to the 4.7-inch model, 4.7 to 5.4 inches, and yet the body sizes are not all that different. So anyone who is looking for that smaller handset but wants like the newest of everything, this is going to be amazing. The new iPhone 12, just that perfect size for a really small phone. I know a lot of people are going to be running to pick that up, and they don't have to compromise, much because it's getting a new phone still. I know a lot of people were disappointed with the new iPhone SE that did not have, that was still a bit of a larger phone. It was not this super tiny form factor. So this is going to be great. This is going to be a really nice size for a lot of people out there. That leaves us finally with our biggest one in the lineup. So here we are, iPhone 11 Pro Max here on the right-hand side, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max here on the left-hand side. Not all that different. Obviously, you can see my crack from over the weekend in my iPhone 11 Pro Max, but you can see there, these things are not that much different in size, but the iPhone 12 Pro Max is going from 6.5 inches that we have here to 6.7. So it's actually a little bit larger of a screen. And if we stack these, you can see almost no difference in the size. I can't even tell. The iPhone, yeah, they're really pretty much the same exact size here. The iPhone 12 Pro is actually slightly taller. We set it behind, it's like a hair bigger there at the top is all it really is, but you're getting a larger screen because the bezels are shrunk down. So how small are the bezels? Let's see how close we can kind of bring this in here. And we can focus. It's very slim along the sides there where that bezel is. Now, we want to talk about the models, these dummies in general. So we've got these similar factories that we got our iPhone 11 Pro dummies from, or 11 dummies last year, and those were amazingly accurate. They are very spot on with what ended up actually getting released. There's something to always remember with these dummy units is the schematics don't include anything for the front, and they don't include anything for the camera bump. They really just include the size of the phone in all those aspects. So you don't have to worry like, oh, there's only 3 camera bumps on here. I thought we were getting LiDAR. Well, when these schematics are being made, they don't care what's actually on this camera bump. They just care about the size of the camera bump. So these case makers, the schematics don't tell the whole story about what is on this bump here. They're just going for the size. So we're still likely going to get that LiDAR sensor, especially on this larger model, but that's why that looks a little bit different and you're not seeing that 4th camera bump. So let's look at the size of this thing. Obviously, the big news here is flat sides versus the rounded sides we've had for the last several years. You can also see on the schematic that we have the lightning connector. It's not USB-C. It's absolutely a lightning connector on the bottoms of these phones. And a little bit different, you can see we have the SIM card tray here on the left-hand side of the device, but on the right-hand side of the Pro Max, we have another bump here. And we saw this when we covered the schematics that were leaked earlier this year, which these are likely based off of. And this is possibly some sort of smart connector, smart magnetic charging solution. I don't think it's going to be for an Apple Pencil for the iPhone, but it could be charged in a similar way. So it could be a new magnetic charging system for the iPhone while they're keeping this around, maybe some sort of docking station or something. We do have this kind of mystery port that is hanging out on the right-hand side of our iPhone 11 Pro or iPhone 12 Pro Max. So that's something to take into account. But otherwise there we have our buttons. We have our buttons on this side. Not all that much changed other than these new flat sides and decreased bezels on the front. Now that one here comes in a space gray. We also have a chrome. So we have a space gray and a silver for the Pro models. And these are possibly coming in a new midnight blue. Obviously, these dummy units did not come in a midnight blue size, but that is a possibility. And then finally, we have what's likely still going to be a aluminum body on the iPhone 12 and 12 Max. So these have like a matte finish on the 12 line, and the 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max have that glossy finish, likely going with the space gray, the silver, and the midnight blue. So that is it. These are what the iPhone 12 lineup is going to look like. All of them are getting slight bumps in sizes, which is great. I mean, it's really just because they're able to decrease the bezels a little bit more and have those flat sides. So they largely feel like the same size phones, but you have more screen real estate. So that's what we're expecting come this fall when Apple does release its new iPhones. There are going to be 4 models, the 12 here, the 12 Max, and the 12 Pro, and the 12 Pro Max. So 4 models, lots of sizes, including a super pocketable 5.4-inch size, going up to 2 6.1-inch models, and a massive 6.7-inch model for those who love the beefier phones. So lots of options here. We are so excited to check out the iPhone 12 Pro, or the iPhone 12 line in general, when it launches later this year. I'm excited to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think of the new iPhone 12 line? Let me know down below in the comments, or better yet, reach me on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. Let's talk about the iPhone 12, what features you want to see and what features you are excited about.
Hey everyone, did you guys like that video? Be sure to click on that like button so we can create content that we know that you guys want to see. And follow AppleInsider on all social media channels. If you want the best prices on any Apple gear, check out the AppleInsider price guide that is updated daily. And until next time, we'll see you later.